Here is the most common process of approving payments. We will explain step by step to explain why this process isn't good enough to catch risks that occur when processing payments. Step 1. During the month, accounts payable team are entering invoices, timesheets, commissions, reimbursements, all into the respective accounting, ERP, or payroll software. Risks have already started popping up at this point, as accounts payable are time poor trying to process and enter payment data. Bank account numbers can be entered incorrectly. Procedures are not always followed when onboarding vendors or updating their bank account details, and so on. Step 2. When payments fall due, the normal process is to produce a schedule of payments report. Step 3. This report is usually paper-based, and an approver is expected to go through every single payment to ensure they are all valid. If you have hundreds of payments, it is humanly impossible to check every bank account of the payee is correct, as you would have to match the payment detail to every single invoice. What a nightmare! It's hard enough to keep the desk clear of things to do as it is. Let's not forget that this approval process takes place within a few hours on a given day during the month. For creditor payments, that's the 20th. It's fair to say that false invoices, human error, and intentional data manipulation can slip through this manual check process because of the sheer amount of payments to review, as well as the time pressures the approver are normally under. The fact is that you have to trust processes are followed and the information in front of you is correct. Step 4. Finally, after you have approved the schedule of payments report, accounts payable then create a batch file. This is the electronic payment instruction you have just approved on paper, but this file remains unchecked. This is the instruction that will be updated to the bank for final authorization. Keep in mind, you have only seen and approved the paper-based report, not the batch file. This leaves gaping holes that can be taken advantage of, and fraudsters are aware of this. Batch files are not checked. Therefore, approvers and owners of the business have to trust that the details are the same as what has just been approved in the schedule of payments report. Look familiar? To top it all off, the batch files are then deleted by the bank, and your bank statements will only show a single transaction line for all of the transactions that were in the batch file, conveniently hiding all the evidence for any fraudsters. Let's take the time to review where all the risks lie in this process. When entering data, the risks include human error when loading payments, especially with ever-pressing time constraints. Data manipulation to filter money to fictitious employee credit bank accounts. False invoices that are generated from outside of your organization. Phishing, whaling scams that monitor the relationships within your business to defraud your business. When reviewing the paper-based schedule of payments, it is impossible to check and validate all transactions in a timely manner. The review isn't an effective mitigator against human error and fraud, as the instruction is a paper-based report. When consolidating instructions and paying, batch files are not checked, reviewed, or approved, making the whole payment approval process flawed. Authorizers at the bank level have no visibility over payments. They have to trust they are releasing payments others in the approval process have checked. The bank doesn't verify the payee name matches the account number and vice versa. Your bank statement does not show individual transactions, only a total payment amount for the batched payment. The batch file is deleted after processing, leaving no evidence of what has actually been paid. This might be the same on your local system and accounting systems. If you would like to discuss the role the vigilance software can play in filling the gaps in your payment approval process, get in touch with us now to organize a consultation or a demo of the software in action. Vigilance cures all of the gaps and risks that have been shown throughout this video. Get in touch with us today to find out how.